please welcome the founder and editor of the Daily Lodging Report, Alan Woinski, and Skift CEO and founder, Rafat Ali.
All right. Thank you, Aisha. And welcome, everyone. Thank you, Alan, for being here. We are very excited. We obviously have had a very exciting week so far. It's only Wednesday, even though it feels probably we've had 6 days in the last 2 days. It just seems like it, right? That's just the last few weeks. It feels like the weeks are so much longer because there's, I guess, so much work and we're still trapped, like semi-trapped in homes, or at least trying to figure out how to get out of the house. But exciting times for us. For those of you who I'm sure saw this news yesterday, we acquired Alan's long-running newsletter, Daily Lodging Report. It's now part of the Skift family and umbrella of brands. If you go to Daily Lodging Report, you will see its brand new website as well, its brand new logo as well, that we worked on over the last few weeks. And I've been a fan of Alan and Kim and their brand of analysis and curation of the hotel industry for the last few years. Been a personal subscriber, obviously, as well. And one of the things that impressed me is the smartness of the curation and the efficiency of how it's put together. And as we announced yesterday that we're bringing in DLR, one of the quotes in the announcement post that if you read it, you saw from Jeff Bellotti, who's the current CEO of Wyndham Hotels and Resorts. He said he's read, when I emailed him, my sort of jaw dropped when he emailed back saying he's read every word of DLR for the last 20 plus years he's been in the industry. I don't know if it's exactly true. How can you read every word, Alan, that you've written? But that's also it's great to hear from somebody of his stature that he does that. In fact, yesterday when we announced it, another CEO of another large hotel chain saw Jeff's quote and emailed you to say, actually, that's exactly what I've been doing for the last, however many years I've been in the industry as well. So it's been great to see all your effort come to fruition in so many different ways. So we're very excited, obviously, to have you as part of the Skift family. We are obviously, we won't mess with what you've built with an idea that we'll grow it, potentially add a conference to it. I think it's time for a new type of hotel owner, investor, operator conference. I don't know what that would look like, but I guess you and I will figure it out over the next couple of years. And so I think that's going to be the case as well. So from your perspective, I know you and I had the meeting of minds over the last 2 years on this. What excites you about this?
Well, I mean, I guess it really goes down to Kim and I had to figure out what we wanted to do. And it was about 2 years ago when we decided we really had taken the Daily Lodging Report as far as we could on our own. We had a lot of bad luck. My son was supposed to take over the gaming newsletters. He decided to go to med school after a pro baseball career. And then his girlfriend, his longtime girlfriend, was supposed to help us out, and they broke up. So it was kind of like, it was Kim and I, and we had to kind of decide what to do. So, when I first started reading your work, when I first saw it, because at the beginning, I didn't even know what Skift was.
Right.
And then when I started reading your work, I saw that, this was something that I liked the way you guys covered the whole travel space. I saw that you guys really got a lot of the things that over the years I've looked at and said, these things seemed obvious to me, but it didn't seem like analysts in the industry were really getting it. And then when you contacted me and we met, I mean, it kind of solidified what I already knew. Obviously, COVID threw a little bit of a monkey wrench into our plans. I don't know if everybody knows that these discussions started, in
pre-COVID,
December of 2019 or something like that.
Correct, 2019.
So, I mean, it kind of took a while, but, here we are, and hopefully COVID it's still here, but not, hopefully it's behind us, at least for the travel world, and everybody can move forward.
Yeah, well, at least according to the New York governor, as of yesterday, COVID is over in New York officially, or at least they've lifted most of these restrictions. So let's move on a little bit to, since you have this orchestral view of the lodging industry, lodging and gaming industry. You also run another newsletter called, in fact, an older newsletter called Daily Gaming Report. I'm going to mess the full name, but
Gaming Industry Daily Report.
Gaming Industry Daily Report that you've been running for. So DLR you've been running for 26 years, and the way you know this is because it started the night your son was born. Your
Yes.
first son was born.
That was the first issue. Yep.
Which is just a great story, which we'll tell at some point. But Gaming Report, you've been doing even from prior to that. But so you've had this orchestral view of the lodging industry for a long time. Also, you were early last year in warning the industry, I think as early as maybe even late
January, yeah.
To say this is going to hit the industry hard. Please pay attention to this. Don't just think this is going to be a China thing. In fact, you wrote an article for Skift as just a guest columnist then about this, I think sometime in March as well.
I wish I was wrong.
Yeah, and I think you even said in the article, I think you said in that post you did, you hope you are wrong, but turns out you weren't. The couple of big things that the industry is trying to figure out now. We heard from Tyler Morris, who runs MCR, early this morning as well. The biggest, couple of big issues, obviously the consolidation that you and I have also talked about in the last 2 years, is continuing to happen. I want to get your views on it. And second, on labor. Labor seems to be such a big issue now, for all the right, for very valid reasons as well. So let's start with the consolidation part. Where do you see this cycle where the industry is in both on the ownership side, management side, as well as in the corporate side?
Well, the question I'm asked the most is what surprised me the most about the last year with COVID, and it's easy for me to say that. It's the fact that there were no fire sales. I mean, if you had asked me in April or May of last year, I would have told you by the summer there were going to be, just blocks of hotels going for like nothing. And it didn't happen. And that's really a testament to a lot of things. Number one, the industry executives that they were able to get through it, and also the banks that they were willing, the banks and the other lenders that they were willing to work with the industry. I'm not going to say we're 100% out of the woods yet. And I think we will see the bid and ask kind of narrow a little bit, enough that there's more deals to be made. But there's no doubt that there were less deals in the past year than everyone expected. And we're going to see, for companies like Host Hotels and Sunstone, they were just sitting there on a pile of money, just waiting, and it just didn't happen. So it's going to be interesting to see what goes on the management, the franchise sides. This kind of stopped companies like Accor and IHG, who were pretty much tearing it up. I mean, you still have obviously other things that are going on, and people and companies want to grow. But I think for now, you're going to see a different pace of transactions. You're not going to see what dominated in the last couple of years. Now, in terms of labor, I just got back from a trip. I stayed in my first 4 hotels since July of last year, and it is a big problem. It is a really, really big problem. I saw this poor woman at this one hotel behind the front desk. She worked 16 hours, and she kind of did everything. She was serving breakfast. She was doing this, and I felt so bad for her. But if you can't get the help, you're kind of at a point now where every hotel I stayed at was packed. I mean, I think there had to be close to, between 70 and 85% occupancy. There were weddings going on, things like that, and they just don't have the staff to do it. So it's a real problem. It's a problem that's going to have to be addressed.
Yeah, I guess there's no easy solution to it except, I don't know, bringing people from different parts of the country.
People getting back to work.
People getting back to work. I guess unemployment runs out at some point and people getting back to work. I guess the average costs, particularly on the wage side, will also go up for the industry. I guess that's I'm sure some of the analyst reports that you're seeing are seeing the costs going up. Are you seeing any changes in the whole safety thing, which was cost on cleaning and stuff? It looks like that's going away to some extent.
Well, I think it's going to definitely be something where you don't need your rooms cleaned every day. I think that's going to be more permanent because, I mean, realistically, when you think about it, how many people really need their rooms cleaned every day? I mean, timeshare properties have been doing that for years. You get it twice in a week. And like Marriott Vacations does that. You get it twice in a week. If you want more, you have to pay for it. So I don't see why the hotel industry doesn't go right to that same model, which will take away some of that. some of the pressure.
Right. Let's quickly jump to another question. I know, obviously, you also write the Asia Pacific report for the Daily Lodging Report. We've been talking for the last 10 years of Skift's existence. Asia is the future of travel. Obviously, that's sort of in a broad sense true, but I mean, it has not been that great of in terms of opening in Asia. What do you see in terms of, you've been closely tracking what's happening in Macau, you've been closely tracking what's happening with the Chinese travelers. So what's your sense of the recovery there?
Well, I mean, obviously, we just had a major setback in various countries. I mean, Thailand couldn't get things under control, but then Singapore, Malaysia, even China kind of got hit with a second wave. Obviously, India was the worst. Things are starting to look better now. Thailand's going to start opening up actually July 1st. They're going to start opening up again. I said, it was about 6 months ago, I said that no matter how many times you hear an industry executive or an analyst or a government official say that something's going to happen in the next month, whether it's a travel bubble or something else, you really got to ask the coronavirus if it's okay, because that virus is dictating what is happening.
Right. Yeah, that's true. And the biggest dud of all last year and a half has been the phrase travel bubble. Because it really never took off in any part of the world.
Because every time there was supposed to be one, something happened.
And they have a zero risk tolerance, which is not, from our perspective, is not the way to go. But that's just what they chose as a path. Okay, all right. Let's finish this here. Thank you, Alan, again. Thank you, Kim. I know Kim is somewhere there in the background. She's writing the Daily Lodging Report, and we will continue to do what you do. And thank you again for becoming part of the Skift family. And we're excited.
Glad to be here, and we're excited too.
All right.